Good morning and welcome to our first conversation on mastering customer experience for a competitive advantage. My name is Odette and it is an absolute privilege to have you with us today. My journey into the heart of customer experience began over 2 decades ago, and it's been nothing short of transformative. So, let me share a quick, short story that really encapsulates why I'm passionate about customer experience. Early on in my career, I was working for a large insurance company. And part of my regular responsibilities would be to sit in claims forums where we would discuss claims and potentially decline them based on policy wordings, policy schedules. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand the concept of pooling. I understand the principle of insurance and I understand policy rules and policy schedules. However, I very often found myself asking the question, would you do this to your mother? Now, this was long before Jean Bliss wrote her book with a similar title. And that, would you do this to your mother, is really what stuck to me for many years and ever since then. And that's really where my passion for customer experience started. And it's only grown stronger over time. We're going to talk about why customer experience is really your competitive advantage as a business and how we dive into these things. How do we create the business case for customer experience? So, first of all, we need to think about the heart of the conversation and the heart. So, before we dive into today's conversation, Tadiwa, I'd love to know, what is your current role? What's brought you here?
Hi, Odette, and hi, everyone who's on the team. So, my name is Tadiwa, but you can call me Tad. So, I'm currently in customer service, currently working remotely for Kids Care Dental and company in the USA. And I'm doing customer service, basically that. So, what drew me here is the fact that I've recently started my virtual assistant business and will be majoring in customer service as well and administration. So what brought me here is I want to learn and know more about customer experience and how to make the customer experience better. Given the fact that I've been working with customers directly, I'm the first point of contact for customers.
It's
Yeah.
lovely having you here today. I think it's
Thank you.
important that we clarify what customer experience is because often people in business think customer service is customer experience. And I want to clarify that it's really not. Customer service is a small part of customer experience and it does definitely play into customer experience. But customer experience is really the heartbeat of your brand. It's the holistic expression that resonates with your customers. And it's about every single touch point along the journey. So those touch points, fair or not fair, includes before they actually even speak to you. It's everything pre-sale, everything that's on Google, everything that's in social media, right through to the point where they buy from you and either stay with you or leave for whatever reason. It's the entire narrative that your brand weaves together into the lives of your customers from discovery right through till post sales and supports and potentially leaving. I'd love to hear from you. Can you think of a time when a brand left a really good lasting impression on you? What was it about that experience that made such a big impression for you?
It was how they took care of me through the whole process. Was of one of the agents from Fast Yet. So what basically happened is that I was trying to book a ticket, right? I was traveling to South Africa at that point, and at that point, I really did not know much about traveling with Fast Yet, and this was my first time traveling with Fast Yet, and the agent took care of me. They taught me what I needed to do, and they did some of the things that I was supposed to do for me, and they did not make me feel less than for not knowing what I was supposed to know or what they probably thought was common knowledge for everyone. They helped me through the process and they were so polite, just genuine kindness, genuine politeness. That's what I loved.
That's amazing. And it's a really good point because if you've been in my world at all, you will know that I talk about customer experience being a feeling more than anything else. And your first words were, they made me feel taken care of. And that's what our customers want, whether they are buying a product, whether they are using our services, they want to feel taken care of. And feeling taken care of is a combination of solving a problem for them in a way that makes it convenient for them so that they feel like the problem's been solved. Because often businesses can solve problems, but it doesn't feel like the problem's been solved, or it doesn't feel like I've been taken care of, and therefore it leaves an open ended feeling for the customer. It's important that when we create experiences that we weave in the feeling we want people to feel. Quite often we'll talk about customer journey mapping and we'll talk about empathy mapping. And that's where we create the feeling we want people to feel if we're starting from scratch. If we already have a business, it's about understanding what is the existing experience and the existing feeling that customers have. And then going back to what is it that we want them to feel and how do we do that? Studies show that companies focusing on improving customer experience see a significant increase in customer retention, satisfaction, and even revenue growth. Now, it's easy to throw those words out there. It's a different thing for people to understand what revenue growth means. Your existing customers are waiting for you to tell them what to do next. They're waiting for the product to meet a need because they're already buying from you. They already said yes to you. They already like you. They already like your experience that you produce. It's your job to create a way for them to continue to buy from them. And that's how you increase revenue. So when you are creating your customer experience, you have to create it with the mindset that I want these people to go on a journey with me. And if I'm going on a journey with them, it means that I need to be creating opportunities for them to work with me if it's not an ongoing thing. It's our job to understand what our customers need before they tell us what they need, and then to create products and services and experiences around that that meets the need. In the past, business was all about I'm selling this thing, you have to buy it. And it was true because we had to buy things. We were limited to the guy that's down the road. We were limited to the big corporations that's in our local city. We are in a global environment where we can buy anything from anywhere in the world. This call is a perfect example of that. You're in Zimbabwe, you're being paid by someone in the US, and you're talking to me in Australia. We don't have to buy from the guy down the road anymore. Now we have choice. So it's important for us to share with our customers why they should buy from us. And sharing with them why they should buy from us will start with making sure that they feel taken care of. As we reflect on these insights, I'd love to hear from you. So, considering that we're in a global environment that's digitally enabled, this call is a digital call, this has impacted the way we interact with brands. And many brands have done it really well, and some have done it really badly. How do you think your expectations as a customer have changed in the digital global era?
Okay. In the digital era, like what you mentioned, I've noticed that it's now more easier for people to get access to information. But this example that you just gave, that I'm here in Zimbabwe, you're in Australia, I'm also working for a company in the USA. So now, because of that competition that's there amongst the brands, I now expect more,
Mm.
which means that if I'm not going to get the type of service that I need from brand A, I'm just going to move.
Yes.
That's just how it is now. So now I expect brands to invest more in knowing the audience and knowing what people want. And I expect the brand to know me before they pitch up an idea to me or pitch up a product to me. I actually want them to tailor it specifically for me. And so that it's just made simple and it's more personal to me than anything else. And there are a lot of brands that are doing so much better in that. So that's what I think makes more sense and is also more important to me right now.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the customer and whether it's fair or not. Our customers are expecting more from us because they now can buy from the US, or they can buy from Australia, or they can buy from, in our case, the Philippines. So we have to level up. We have to know what our customers want, and we need to find innovative ways to deliver those things. Otherwise, the competition is going to eat your breakfast. But I promise you, if you focus on creating a feeling where your customers feel taken care of, it'll be hard for them to move to someone else because they won't feel taken care of. We make emotive decisions as human beings. The next part of the journey is to understand the foundational pillars of customer experience and how to take it from a good experience to a great experience. It's not just elements, it's really about what impacts the customer experience. You just mentioned it, personalization. Customers are expecting brands to know who they are. Second is the emotional connection. And that's what we talked about, the feeling of being taken care of. The next one is probably my favorite, and it's a life principle more than a customer experience principle, but it works so well in customer experience. And that's consistency. Nobody likes Jekyll and Hyde, and nobody likes the Jekyll and Hyde business. So I dislike McDonald's for that reason. Today, I will get a burger that is well put together. It's structured. It's a burger. Tomorrow, I will get a bun on the side of my lettuce and my patty. And then I'm like, what happened here, guys? It's a simple process, but they lack consistency. Lack of consistency that makes me think twice about whether or not I want to go there. Now let's take it a step further and consider our customers as business owners. The reason consistency is important is because when you have a product or a service that you're selling and you want someone to tell someone else about that, you need to be able to show up the way that you showed up for them. Could you imagine that I recommended business A and business A is inconsistent? So you go to business A and you buy something and it's not what I told you it would be. You're going to be like, Odette, I went to that guy and you know what? It was really unpleasant. I wish you had told me that it was going to be like that. Now I'm embarrassed because I didn't know that it was going to be unpleasant. And I really told you this because I wanted you to think, oh, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about. And actually, she's got a really great idea because we all want to feel a sense of belonging and we all want to feel important sometimes. So that's why I told you about this business. And I really thought they could solve your problem. And in some way, I could be part of the solution. But because business A was inconsistent, you now had a poor experience. You won't go back to them. You also won't ask me for advice again. And the next time I say, you know what, you should try blah, 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 fill in the blank, you'll be like, no, I'm okay. Thank you. I don't want to try that. Now my credibility is shot. So for your customers, first of all, it's important for them to know what they're going to get because they will come to you more often, they will return. But secondly, if you want them to refer you, which is the whole point of customer experience, then you have to be consistent because they are referring the predictable result. And then, of course, we have to be accountable to ourselves, accountable to our teams, and accountable to our customers. What does that mean? As businesses, we need to be accountable to ourselves, which means we need to have integrity, do what you said you would do when you said you would do it, keeping your promise. We need to be accountable to our teams. If something isn't working, we have to help them figure out what is not working and provide solutions for it because they are not always empowered to address the issue. They will raise the issue and it's our jobs to fix it. And we have to be accountable to our customers in the way that we deal with negative experiences. So whether it's a complaint, expression of dissatisfaction, a product that went wrong, a service that was delivered inconsistently or poorly, we need to be accountable. And then we should never play the blame game. You never go into a conversation with a customer saying, I'm so sorry that the claims department did X, Y, Z. That is not how you do it because you are showing your customer that there's no unity in your team. And when there's no unity, there's always infighting and chaos. So from an outside perspective, your customer thinks, wait, this isn't going to work. I can't work with these people. So we need to make sure that we keep ourselves accountable in those contexts. Then, of course, I am a huge fan of behavioral economics. One of the behavioral economics principles that plays a very big role in customer experience is friction cost. People are deterred from taking action by seemingly small barriers, which means a memorable experience cannot take place if we don't remove those barriers. For us to create the experience, we have to understand what are the friction points. It's not necessarily a pain point. It might just be a friction, something that's hard, something that's clunky. If it's just a little bit clunky, your customer will walk away and you've lost them for life. Imagine you're visiting your favorite coffee shop and the barista knows your name. They know your order by heart. It's just you walk in and they see your face and you go, "Hi, Odette, and here's your coffee." That's what we call personalization. Now, I realize that not every business can do that because obviously the world works differently, but there's an emotional connection at play that we need to work on. Now, imagine that same level of service consistently every single time you walk into the coffee shop. If you want coffee, that's where you go. If your friends go, "Hey, we should go have coffee," that's where you would recommend that people go. That's how you turn a customer from a transaction into an advocate. And ultimately, successful businesses need advocates. So I'm curious to hear from you. Have you ever had a service or a product that you felt really understood and valued? And how did that feeling and experience influence and impact your perception of that brand?
My hairdresser, actually, she's constantly delivering. I love her. And now we've actually grown to be friends. And I've actually recommended almost all my friends to her because she makes everything so seamless. She makes everything so personal to me. When you get there, she makes you sure that the attendants or assistants are helping out, making sure that I'm safe and all of that. So I love the experience there.
That's the whole point though, right? It
Mhm.
doesn't matter that it's your hairdresser or it's your barista. It could be your local baker, but they've created a connection with you. And the connection was so deep and so profound that you call her a friend. How amazing is that? Now,
I
let me
know.
ask you, how far would you go to help your friend if she said, "Geez, my business is not doing well"?
The hairdresser, I would actually ask her, you know what, how much do you want? How bad is it? How can I help? And if I can offer her the help I can give her, I would honestly, because it's been what, 2, 3 years? And she's been consistent with delivering good service. And all the people that I've referred to her from work and also family members, they love her. She just makes everything so special for everyone.
And
And there's
that's
also one thing and there's also one thing I noted about giving service to people. You also have to find a connection point. That's one thing I've noticed with her. She makes sure that with her brand, she connects with the person in one way or another because the way she connects with me is obviously different from the way she connects with the other person. But there's just something that's always common between my connection and her connection with the other person. So I also believe that's also very important, knowing your target market and also fostering that connection.
absolutely. It's 100% about the connection. I want to point out that you started as a customer, then you became an advocate, and then you became a friend. And when you became a friend is when things changed. Because the moment she says, "I'm in trouble," or "I need help with my business," or if she even comes and says to you, "I have this new product or service I want to try, I'm going to do these things," you will be the first person to tell people about it. You will be like, "Oh, you know what? I know just the person who needs that. I'm just going to get them and we'll be there next day." And that's what customer experience does. That's how customer experience increases your revenue. Now, think about it. When those things take place, she didn't pay you to tell people about it. There's no marketing cost involved. There is only showing up and delivering a consistent experience that made you feel taken care of every single time to the point that you were like, "My friend, I need to help my friend. How can I help my friend?" It's now no longer a transaction. Let me ask you this. If somebody else opens a new hair salon in your town, would you go there?
I'm going to be so honest with you. Love new experiences, but with this one, I'll sit this one out. Honestly,
Exactly.
because I've been with her for so long and I love everything there. So I'm fine. I'm fine where I'm at.
precisely the point. And that's why customer experience is so powerful in helping businesses grow. And unfortunately, it's really hard sometimes to build these experiences, and organizations think that they have to have the Amazon click, click, ding dong and the budget. You don't have to have Amazon's budget. And surprise and delight is not necessarily about giving someone a gift or like Disney showing up with free stuff and Mickey Mouse doing a song and dance. It's about how people feel when they leave interactions with your business. And that's exactly what you've just described. It's important for us to pay attention to these small things. Customer experience can be as complicated or as simple as we want it to be. That's the honest to goodness truth. Now, obviously, there are some hurdles to customer experiences like resource allocation. Maintaining consistency across your customer touch points is really hard to do. Accurately measuring the impact of customer experience, because quite often the impact isn't immediately seen in the revenue. Quite often it's a longer process, and it's hard to pinpoint exactly when did Odette become the friend? When did she move from advocate to friend? It's hard to say the exact moment, but there are things that we can use to identify those things. And then, of course, there will always be obstacles. But when we have a strategic plan and we have a customer centric culture with the right metrics in place, any business can navigate customer experience and customer growth. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Can you recall a specific instance where a company has completely won you over, or are you going to tell me that your hairdresser is it? She's completely won you over, and you've actually never experienced anything like that before or since.
Yeah, she has completely won me over, and you already know it. That's the example I have of a person or a brand that has actually won me over like that.
And that's the thing. It didn't cost her millions.
It
She
didn't.
didn't spend millions winning you over. She was just
Mhm.
consistent, and she just made sure that you felt taken care of. Can you imagine if all the businesses that you worked with did what she did, showed up consistently, made sure you felt taken care of, made sure you weren't just a number? Because when you feel like you're taken care of, you feel like you need to take care of them, and you'll do what you need to do to help them grow their business. It's important for us to keep that in mind. And it's important for us to have a clear roadmap of creating a customer experience. So the journey begins, like you rightfully said, with understanding our customers. It starts with, who is your customer? What do they care about? What do they feel? What do they think? What are they worried about? And it's about understanding and listening intently and observing their behaviors, because what we say is often vastly different to what we do. And our jobs are to listen to what they say, observe their actions, and then marry the two to extract insights to create our CX strategy. So once we've created that journey, that customer profile, and we understand our customer needs, we obviously need to map the customer journey out with the various touch points, as well as the friction points and the pain points. And then we can start thinking about how we want to innovate the customer experience. All of this will mean nothing if the customer experience culture does not exist. You can do everything you want, but if your team that works with you with that customer doesn't understand that the customer is the center of the business, they will not treat the customer as an asset, and they will not deliver the experience that you want them to deliver. Even though you've said all of the right things and your values have all the right words in them, if that person's heart is not in it, then I'm sorry, you're not going to get the experience from them that you should. So customer experience is about more than just you, and it's about more than the process. It's about taking people on the journey. We touched a little bit about how we measure customer experience and the output of that. Typical measures, I'm sure, being in customer service, NPS, which is the Net Promoter Score, CSAT, customer satisfaction scores, which is typically used immediately after an interaction, is really good. And it also helps you recover poor experiences very quickly if you consistently measure it. Customer effort score is probably one of my favorite. Most people don't measure it because they don't think of asking the right questions. But it is important for us to understand what effort our customer had to go through to actually work with us. Because the more friction we remove, the more likely it is that they will buy from us. And then, of course, we need to make sure that we hold our teams accountable. So we want to make sure that they deliver within time. Time could very well be a customer experience measurement that we use. We've had a very short, very impactful conversation about a topic that is larger than life, I think. And reflecting on some of the things we talked about what is customer experience, we talked about why it's important and how we create an impactful customer experience. I'd love to hear from you. What was the most valuable part of this conversation today?
The most valuable part of the conversation for me today was the fact that I got to learn about how important the customer is to a business and how important referrals are actually to the business. Because it's not just me marketing the business, it's also the customer marketing the business for me.
Awesome. I'm really happy to hear that because when we realize just how important our customers are, our businesses explode because then we stop paying attention to what they do. And we become a little bit obsessive with customers. And I think customer obsessed is a really good space to be. So the journey doesn't end here. We have to take action to elevate our customer experience strategies. I offer a program called the CX Compass program. We have the next group starting on the 1st of May, and the program is designed to help you define customer experience objectives for your organization or your business, and then to create a customer experience that results in brand loyalty, that results in customers who come back like you. And if you are interested in joining the program, in the chat box, I've captured the link to the program where you can read up to on the customer experience compass, what you'll learn, how long it is. It's a short 8-week program where we take you through step by step how to identify the desired experience that you want to deliver and what you need to do to deliver that experience. So the link is in the chat box if you're interested. And then I want to thank you so much for engaging in this conversation with me today. Keep an eye out for the next webinar conversations. And thank you so much for sharing your stories and your insights with us. If you have any questions or you have any concerns or comments, feel free to pop me an email at info@amplifycoach.biz. I'd love to hear from you. Don't miss out on the next one. Until next time, keep pushing the boundaries of customer experience and let's create some truly remarkable experiences together.